Good kill, good kill.
Hey, good kill.
Alright guys, it's finally here, the new 2.7 update for DCS with the new clouds and a whole slew of other visual updates. I'm sure by now a lot of you have downloaded the update and you've messed around a little bit, and I know a lot of you guys who watch this channel are not necessarily DCS players, but it is interesting for you guys to see and look at how far flight simulators have come. I don't know about you guys, but I've been into flight sim since the 1990s, late 90s when I was a kid, and it has come quite a ways. I think that's a fair statement to make. DCS always has been one of the premier and, best flight sims available to the civilian population. It is different from other flight sims in the sense that it is a combat simulator. It is not Microsoft Flight Sim. There is a whole other aspect to it. In fact, the visuals of flying, some people might think, are second to the combat. I would argue that both are equally important. The visuals are an important component to the immersion of actually being there and, getting the real effect, or at least the closest you can to reality. That is a big part of it. Now, in my personal opinion, clouds and DCS were not horrible before 2.7. It's not to say that it wasn't in need of an update, but I've seen some pretty nasty clouds in other flight sims, ones that rotate with the aircraft, complete immersion breakers, and just disgusting. Some of these clouds I've seen from recent simulators, they look like they're from 1987 or something. They look horrible. So it's nice to see ED recognizing the importance of the visuals and the new clouds and the immersion that it creates in the sim itself. Along with the visual updates of the clouds, we've seen some changes to the missiles, which I will explore in the next couple of days to see exactly what they entail. We'll see, if those are good changes or bad changes, yet to be seen. As of right now, I'm just stuck on the visual appeal of 2.7, and so far it looks pretty good. The FPS hit is not as terrible as you might think. I haven't really noticed it too much. 7, we also have some other graphical changes. We have what appears to be new smoke when you shoot down an enemy aircraft. The fire seems to be a little bit richer. The actual impact, like the smoke that comes out of him, is much thicker. It's blacker. It looks nicer in my opinion. It looks almost like a port over from World War II that they did a few months ago with the new damage model. So it looks really good there. Very happy with that change. Basically, something really important that's going on here is ED seems to be realizing that the visual component of a flight sim is just as important as the combat side. Now that does make their job much harder. They now have to create a functional flight sim and also make it look good. Things like Microsoft Flight Sim don't have that problem. They just have to make it look good. And the rest of it, there's no AMRAMs in Microsoft Flight Sim. They don't have to worry about radar functionality, all this stuff. Now, as much as that makes ED's life harder when it comes to staying on top of the radar functionality, the combat side, and the visuals, I think it is an important component of creating one of the best flight sims, especially in 2020. Like, the standards are different now, and ED is really taking it to that next level. We've entered a new era of flight sim. The old stuff is just not acceptable anymore, in my opinion. If you want to call yourself the top flight sim, this is where you need to be. And again, it's really nice that ED has realized that and is moving in that direction. It's a very welcome change. I just hope that we continue to see visual updates for DCS as time goes by. Obviously, that will mean that you will need a stronger and stronger computer, but such is life when it comes to flight sims if you want to be on the leading edge of performance. Overall, so far, the launch of 2.7 seems to be a smooth and successful launch for ED. For me, if I remember correctly, it was something around 90 gigs. Wasn't too slow, but again, that depends on your own download speed. Pretty decent launch so far. No catastrophic crashes for me. No, insane frame drops, nothing like that. So far, it seems like it's a pretty smooth launch. Again, I've only had it for a couple hours. There's a lot of testing yet to do, but it looks good. So far, so good. Things I'd like to see improved. I'd like to see better air-to-air explosions, missile impacts. I'd like to see those graphically improved a little bit better. I think they can look a lot better than they do right now. In time, I hope ED will address that. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think visually should be improved with DCS. Functionality and combat aside, there's always room for improvement there. But when it comes to graphics, what's something that's not there right now that you wish was there? I'm genuinely curious, because I kind of think about this a lot, especially water effects with helicopters and things like that, dust effects, you know, that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comment section. And I think, guys, that's going to conclude my first impressions of the 2.7 update by ED. Again, very curious to know what you guys think so far. I know it's early, and I know we haven't got a full, you know, testing of it done, but just let me know your first impressions. I'd like to see what the community thinks about 2.7. I think ED would also be super interested to hear those comments that you guys have. For me personally, as I'm sure you've gathered by this video so far, I'm giving it a positive review so far, so pretty good. Again, we still have to test the missiles and all that other stuff, so we'll see. But as of right now, a nice and smooth launch for 2.7. I hope you guys have downloaded it and are having a good time with it. Big thanks to ED for this massive update. I know there was a possibility of a delay again, but it's nice to know it came out on time this time, and looking forward to playing around with it some more. Alright guys, that's going to be the video for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.